When your mother's the mean girl, it could be heartbreaking. It could even make you question your place in the world. Talking to the people who have gone no contact with their mothers, who have experienced emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, financial abuse from their mothers, and even much more. Now, although it is Mother's Day and that season and that time, and many can say Mother's Day is all year round. It is, but specifically now around this time, yes, we do want to big up and shout out all the great, present, loving, nurturing mothers, but there are a lot of people who have experienced a totally different dynamics with their mothers, and that's what I'm here to encourage those persons about. Now, some people, this is a triggering time for them. This is not the kiki and the lovey-dovey and the flowers bringing and the dinners and the cuddles and watching movies. For some people, this can really be a heartbreaking time. Now, I just wanted to say to those persons who are experiencing the difficulties, the trauma, the whatever it may be, your experiences are valid. Even at this time of the year when some persons might say, you only get one mother and you gotta love your mother. And I come from a Caribbean background, and a lot of people will say, you only get one mother and you have to big up your mother, and no matter what your mother do to you. Yeah, listen, there's different dynamics that people experience and have with their mothers. And some of them are not all excusable, or you can sweep them under the rug and just, some of them can be really traumatic. And there might be some beliefs, I'm looking at my notes, there might be some beliefs, there might be some things, some thought processes that you may need to unpack and really work through. Now, I would hope that, persons don't take it too hard on themselves. They, consider, seeking counseling, support, therapy, other coping mechanisms to help them get through this process and this time of the year especially. Also consider that, your mother is a human just like all of us, and a person, and grew up and may have experienced different traumas, different things that she may be working through, or had to work through, or whatever it may be. And society tends to push this narrative that mothers are nurturing, they are selfless, they should fully be dedicated to their child or their children, which is true. But also, mothers, like I just said, they have their own trauma, they have their own issues, they have their own goals and things that happened before, during, and even after you became present. And that's not excusing anything. I don't want anybody to take it as, okay, so what are you trying to say? Like, the trauma I experience is excusable because my mother's just a human, and it's not excusable. I'm just throwing different points out there to just kind of give that different way of perceiving things. But at the same time, although that could be her truth, it still is a good thing to seek support, to seek counseling, to seek therapy for both, yourself and even, the mother. And around this time of the year, Mother's Day, and even throughout the year period, I would say put yourself first as well. People would say, well, it's Mother's Day, your mother goes first. Well, your mother goes first, but like I said, if you've had traumatic experiences, or there's some type of turmoil that you've had with your mother, and this is a triggering time of the year, and maybe you've gone no contact, put yourself first. Try not to be hard on yourself. Take some time to nurture yourself. Take some time to give yourself self-care. Take some time to do what's best for yourself. Don't let the whole situation of what's happening with everybody cloud your judgment. And if for very good reasons, if you're not in contact, or whatever the boundaries are between you and your mother, you go and get in contact with her, and now you've re-traumatized yourself. So just don't allow this time of the year to do that. Just continue to take the steps that you need to take to heal, to nurture, and to flourish yourself, and to move forward. And be honest with yourself. on the relationship that you do have with your mother, what it used to be, what it currently is, and maybe what you hope it can be or maybe not be in the future. And just be honest with yourself. Do you need space? Do you need to put up boundaries? Do you need different coping mechanisms that will help you get through not just Mother's Day, but all year round? Because mothers are, whether you have a traumatic experience with your mother or not, mothers are the center of all of our worlds because we all came from a mother, right? No matter which way you came here naturally or whatever kind of other method, whether your mother, passed away and you still were left with trauma before knowing her and you had a mother figure or whatever the circumstance might be, we still all had a mother, and that is the center of our very existence and beginning, and for some people the center of their trauma. So I just wanted to put this message out there to just let persons know that it's okay this time of the year, because like I said, this time of the year is where it's flowers bringing, it's restaurant bringing, it's everybody's posting their love for their mother. And some people really, this is the time of the year where it's like, yeah, that's not their reality. And that's okay, because we all have different dynamics, family dynamics, mother, daughter, mother, son dynamics with our mothers. Now, some mothers might be listening and be like, well, the kids are this and, they've put me through this. Okay, I got you. Now, mind you, I'm not a mother myself. And so many people might say, well, you can't speak from that point of view. And I understand that. I get that. But I believe that in life, sometimes you don't have to have gone through being in a particular role to be able to have general knowledge on how, that role, that particular part of how you play in people's life. And I just wanted to speak on, I didn't want to just defend the children that are going through trauma. Now, mothers, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, in a respectful way now, I believe mothers would say, and this is a day too that can be triggering for mothers, because some mothers, maybe they have been trying to reconnect and bridge the gap between whatever issues they had with their child or children, and trying to, reconcile and make those amends. And maybe their children aren't ready or whatever the circumstance may be. And this could be a hard time for mothers. And I would like to acknowledge that. And for the mothers, know that, you are a layered individual, and you have gone through possibly trauma or unsolved issues or whatever it may be. And motherhood, just like any other situation, but we're talking about motherhood, is a journey. It's not going to be a straight path. There's going to be all kind of twists and bobs and weaves, because you are raising and nurturing and trying to be there for someone else, meanwhile nurturing and even raising, because some people became teen moms or moms that are, whatever it may be, people became moms sometimes in times and spaces in their life where so it's not going to be a straight journey. And I wanted to acknowledge that for the mothers and let the mothers know that I'm not saying it's okay, because like I said in the beginning of this message, there's some people that experience abuse. So I'm not saying it's okay for the mothers that abused their child, but I'm saying and I'm acknowledging that it is a journey. And some people need to be, guided, counseled, regrouped, go through a lot of intense sorting out and all of that. And that falls into it not being a straight journey, but that doesn't excuse any severe abuse. But at the same time, I wanted to acknowledge it's not a straight journey. And sometimes in life, especially motherhood, I can only imagine, because obviously I've had a mother, because people will say, but you ain't a mom. Well, I've had a mother, and I've had friends that are mothers, and I had friends in the past that were young mothers. And in life, a lot of the times, and I can only imagine especially as a mother, you do the best that you know how to do at that time. So like I said, some people were teen moms. You did the best that you could have done at that time. You were a teen mom. If you were mom later on in life, no matter what stage, you did the best that you could do at that time. No matter how many videos there are online and books there are on parenting, and even parenting classes, I believe that hands-on experience is the ultimate experience. Like, it's just like, to me, fairly similar to when you're going to further education and you have classroom practicums and placements, and they send you out into the field. Well, it's different when they send you out there and you're in school versus when you actually land a job and now you're in the field. Similar to motherhood. Read all the books, watch all the videos, get all the advice. When you're put into it, and every child is different and every circumstance is different, that's when the real deal is going to happen. So, mothers, and I'm not saying the ones that did severe abuse, but at the same time, let's put things in context. People do the best that they can do at that time. And if they weren't healed and they didn't go through the proper channels of healing and getting themselves right and going through therapy and going through all the different things that they need to do, they did the best that they could have did at that time, even if their best wasn't the best. That was the best at that time, and it doesn't mean it was good. I'm not saying it's the best, it was the best, because abuse is not the best, but it was the best at that time for that hurting person who didn't even deal with their trauma. And so a lot of times, sometimes, you got to revisit and reconnect, say your apologies, get your connections, go through, like I said, the different channels of therapy and counseling and assessment and all of that, because there was a lot of damage that you left behind. Even though you did the best at leaving damage behind. And so sometimes you got to clear that. And sometimes there's no amount of counseling or reassessment and sometimes there's nothing that can help to mend that, but it doesn't mean that you don't still try to take those steps. And for the mothers, I would also say, be honest with yourself. Just like I said for the children, be honest with yourself with the relationship you had in the past, in the present, and what you would like in the future, or even if it's not what you like, but based on the fact that you're in no contact or whatever the situation might be with your child or children, be honest with yourself and say, based on where we're at right now, it might look like this, and this for the future, right? It may not look like, next Mother's Day, we're all at the restaurant or at the park taking a walk or getting my flowers or connecting with my kids. Maybe it might be like this because of this. Some people, when they had their kids, they were addicted to whatever substance. They were an absent mother. Maybe they gave up their children. I've known people before that they were in one country, but their parents were in another country, and they were raised by other family members, and they faced abuse. So many different dynamics, and so it can get very complex. And so this is just a general message. Don't beat the messenger. I just wanted to come out and give a hopefully, warm message to everyone, because I know it is Mother's Day, and although many people say Mother's Day is every day, but there is a specific day for that, and it's here. And I just wanted to let those persons that have gone through the trauma, the drama, the issues, to know that it's okay if today's the day where you feel like, I'm not feeling the warmth, I'm not feeling the love, like I'm still sticking in my boundaries. Do what's best for you. And I'm also acknowledging the mothers who, I wouldn't necessarily the ones that did great abuse, but maybe things are traumatic or there is some loss of communication because of other issues. And I'm acknowledging that, maybe, whatever, you did the best at the time, yada, 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 da, 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 da. I'm not condoning anything. I'm just saying this is a time that can be triggering for persons. And I wanted to acknowledge that it is triggering, and that persons do the best for themselves at this time. Don't let people on social media posting their whole extravagant Mother's Day celebration get you off track. You want to be able to still be there for yourself mentally and do what's best for you, and know that it's this time of the year and people might be posting their highlights, but everybody has a different dynamics with their mother. And a lot of us have mother wounds. Now, I'm speaking from my standpoint because I'm a daughter, obviously. I know that, I have my own, mother daughter, issues and wounds. And, I've had my issues with my mother, and it's complicated. But at the same time, I've had to do a lot of reflecting and a lot of reassessing and a lot of unlearning and a lot of unpacking, and things of that nature. So, things are not as polished as people put it on social media, and that's basically my message. Give yourself grace, and I'm hoping peace and healing at this specific time, and I'm just hoping that everybody can do what's best for them at this day, and even if it's not enjoyable and stuff, I'm still hoping that people can enjoy it in whatever manner that they're able to do it in. And yeah, so wishing everybody peace and healing.